not that long ago now, probably about 2 weeks ago, I had someone DMing me on Instagram telling me to unalive myself because of an opinion I had about Percy Jackson and Leo Valdez. So, in response to that person, here is an entire video dedicated to why I hate Percy Jackson in Heroes of Olympus, because fuck you. Okay, I'm not entirely, no, I am that petty. But I have very valid reasons for why I dislike Percy Jackson within Heroes of Olympus. And interestingly enough, a lot of the opinions that I have about Percy in Heroes of Olympus are things that have been discussed within fandom basically since Heroes of Olympus came out. And it's the fact that Percy as a character in Heroes of Olympus just doesn't feel like Percy. Yes, he still has the sass. Yes, he still has his strength and abilities and, his loyalty to his friends. All those things are the same. But what's different, or familiar, so to speak, is that Percy is basically the exact same character he was in Percy Jackson and the Olympians, even though he was meant to have grown beyond who he was in the original series. At the end of The Last Olympian, with Luke's death and Ethan's death and the entire war, Percy came to realise that basically not everything was about him. Basically the entire series was him learning that he doesn't always have to be the one in charge. He's not always the one who is the chosen one. Sometimes he has to rely on other people and trust in other people for things to work out correctly. But in Son of Neptune, Mark of Athena, and basically the entire Heroes of Olympus series, Percy has reverted back to who he was in the original series. In Son of Neptune, he's the leader of the quest. He's the one who's in charge of everything, even though he has no memory. In Mark of Athena, him and Jason are practically having a pissing match over who is going to be the leader of the quest, even though Percy had an entire series learning that he does not have to be the leader. He even can't get to grips with the fact that Annabeth is going on a solo quest and doesn't even think to check in with her about her feelings on going on this solo quest until he sees that she's struggling. And then he stops pestering her about it. Only then. Percy consistently in Heroes of Olympus shows that in a sense he's regressed as a character. He keeps thinking about how he's the one who needs to be in charge. He's the one who needs to make decisions, and the stress of having to do that, similar with Jason. But with Jason it makes sense because, he's a character we've never met before. He's a character who's had, similar to Percy, the stress of leadership thrown on him. So it makes sense for us to hear about him struggling to kind of relinquish that. But Percy shouldn't be having those same struggles because he's already gone through all that. His entire great prophecy was about how he needs to let go of control. He had to let go of him being the hero. He had to let Luke make the choice at the end of the series. In fact, he had to let Annabeth make the choice to speak to Luke, to show him to make the right choice. Percy was not involved with that. He couldn't be. He shouldn't be. That was the entire point. He then used what he learned from that to push the gods into being better because of something he learned from someone else. He probably wouldn't even have asked the gods to be, basically pay your child support if Ethan Nakamura hadn't said anything. Percy's entire arc in the original series was learning that sometimes you need to step back, and sometimes loyalty, it doesn't always work out. Athena herself has told him one day it will be the death of you. It's his fatal flaw. Though, as has been debated on my podcast and on the Best Damn Snack, no, not the Best Damn Snack Bar, because that's my name, the Damn Snack Bar podcast with my friends Katie and Joe, is that we don't think Percy's fatal flaw is actually loyalty. We think it's, in a sense, wrath. Because if someone burns him or someone, betrays him, he never lets it go. But that's something he needs to learn to let go. Similar in this case with Heroes of Olympus, of learning to let go of control. something he was meant to have learned before. And so it's why I dislike Percy in Heroes of Olympus, not because of anything he's done, but for the fact that he's not done anything. He's not learned from his experiences, which admittedly, of course, I'm blaming Rick for this because he's the author. But Percy, I have an issue with Percy being a main character. That's why I'm doing a whole series rewriting Heroes of Olympus. But the main issue I have with Percy is that he continues to try and take on this main leadership role when what he should really be doing, considering everything he learnt in the original series, is supporting the other members of the Seven and helping them take control, or, just supporting Annabeth, because honestly, Annabeth should be the one in control. She should be the leader of the Seven, although obviously they're meant to be sort of like sharing responsibility, but come on, it's Annabeth who should be the leader, not Percy and Jason having this stupid pissing match. But that's why I don't like Percy in Heroes of Olympus, because he hasn't changed. And Percy was an immature kid. He shouldn't still be an immature kid when he's 17. He should have learned from that by now. Well, nearly 17. He's not 17 yet, but you know what I mean. He should have learnt from his experiences because that's what he had done. He just seemingly forgot all about it. Maybe we'll just have to blame his amnesia. Maybe that's the situation here. We got to blame his amnesia. Even though he gained his memories by the end of Son of Neptune, but I guess the amnesia is to blame for the regression of character growth. But I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts on this though, because I've never really seen people say that, Percy's character arc and character in general in Heroes of Olympus is frustrating, but maybe people's thoughts have changed on this. Whatever the case, let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on Percy, because I do want to hear your thoughts on this. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, so thank you all for tuning into this video. I truly do appreciate it. In the description box, be sure to check out the links to my social media, my Patreon, my books, because I've got a new short story coming out this Wednesday, so 2 days from now, which is very exciting, as well as the novel and all the other stuff. And be sure to subscribe, share with your friends, all that good stuff. And again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Oh, and please don't leave any threats in the comments. I would appreciate, not having to block people, but I will do it if I have to. Bye.